Hello, it's Ness Tilson here. In this video I'd like to show you how to use the project mode in Polyboard to set up sloping walls. Sometimes we have to design a cabinet or a multimedia unit or some furniture, cupboards that have to fit into attics or lofts, and often attics or lofts have sloping roofs, and the unit that we're building has to fit underneath this sloping roof. And in project mode, Polyboard doesn't allow us to make a wall that's sloping. So how do we do this? Well, what we do, in fact, the idea is to use a cabinet. You can use a cabinet to represent a wall, and the cabinet can be in any shape you want, of course. How do we do this? Let's go into a project mode in Polyboard and I'll show you quickly how to do it. Let's open a new project completely and let's put up a rectangular wall here. Now let's say that we're going to build in a wall, and say for instance our first wall here, let's put this first wall and let's just put it at 1 meter high. Let's make it 0 transparency and let's not put on any texture, and let's give it just a nice color. Well, this beige color is fine for me. Let's have a look how it looks. Here we have a wall here, and let's just quit this with a wall here. Now let's say that we have another wall, we have a sloping roof or a sloping wall. We need a triangular shaped wall from this point here to this point here. Let's put in a pillar that represents the top of the sloping wall. So let's go back into a new wall, and this time let's put in this pillar, a pillar here, and let's say that this pillar is in fact say 3 meters 50 high. And let's quit this wall here, and we can see here that in our little 3D view here we have a pillar which will represent, for instance, the middle of a room or the top, where the top of the sloping wall here, the triangular wall we're trying to build here. Let's just to make sure that my floor is okay, and our floor is only 2 centimeters thick, and let's put in some texture on the floor. Let's put some textures, and let's just put in a simple clean marble floor. Okay, now let's have a look at our project. So here we have our 2 walls that are set up, and what we want to do here is put in a triangular section of the wall here. Now with Polyboard we can't do this, but what we can do is we can create a cabinet. So let's create a cabinet. I'll click here in my models list and we'll just sling up a default cabinet, and this default cabinet I'm going to click twice on it to edit it, and in this default cabinet I'm going to get rid of everything except the back. So let's get rid of everything except the back. I'll go into my library submethods, and first of all I'm going to take in my box full submethods. Let's get rid of all assembly details of the different panels, so we just have a simple box. Now we just have a simple box, and this simple box, let's get rid of everything except the top and the back. So I get rid of the bottom, I'm going to get rid of the left side and the right side, and now we only have the top and the back. And the top, I'm going to click on the top, and I'm going to put the material at the top as what we call a nil panel, which is a virtual panel with no thickness. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the back, and we're going to give this back a material that is equal to the thickness of the wall I want to build. So in my panels materials here, I think I have actually set up a material which is called Z-Wall 150. And this is just a simple material with nothing on it particular, and that is, I call it a Z-Wall because the Z will put this at the end of my list of materials, so it would be a material that I know that when it pops up in my cutting lists I will get rid of all the materials that are Z. So the Z material will not be taken into account. And the thickness, I've just given it a thickness of 150, which is the thickness that I want my wall as. So let's put in, on this back here, let's put in a material which is in fact our Z wall here, 150. And let's put in the overall depth of our cabinet as also 150. And now we have a block of the back, which is in fact a material which I've called Z wall, which is 150 millimeters thick, and the rest of the cabinet is non-existing. So it looks in fact like a wall, and we can now change its sizes and make it the dimension and the shape of the wall that we need. So let's go into our project mode here, and I don't know what distance I've got between these two walls, so let's take our measuring tool, horizontal measurement tool, up to here, and we have 1 meter 80. 1 meter 80, 1,800 millimeters. So if I go into my model here, and my width, I will call it 1,800, and the total height will be the height of my wall here, which if I look in 3D, let's have a look at our height here. Let's go into our vertical measurement and say from here to here, 350. So the height of my wall is going to be 350. I'll put it here, 350. And now what we need to do is the slope of our wall. So we know that in our project mode here, 350 is the height here. And what is the height here? So if I take here to here, we have 1 meter. And so what we want to do is we want to take the top. So we're going to go into cabinet mode here. Let's select the top by using the drop down list here. And then the top properties, width slope here, we want it to move down from the other side here, 3 meters 50 minus 1 meter 50 here, which is 2 meters 50, and we have a sloping back. Now let's save this model here. We can save this model, and let's create a new model and call it the wall with slope. Wall with slope, okay. And now we have a wall with slope in our models list. Let's quit our measuring tool, and we can drag it into place here. And here we have a wall with a slope on it. Let's have a look at our project in 3D. And we have a sloping wall, so we can now start adding cabinets to our interior here with a sloping wall. Let's add a cabinet or two. Let's let's add a new cabinet, or let's take the model first. Here, let's take this model here and edit the model and create a cabinet out of it. So let's create a cabinet which is in fact, say, that fits onto our wall. So it's going to be the height is going to be 3 meters 50. The width is going to be 1 meter 80, and our depth is 50. Let's give it a plinth elevation of 100. Let's put in a plinth at the front, 50 back, and let's put in some uprights and shelves. Let's put in a upright one. Let's put in here shelves. Let's add, say, 6 shelves, and on this side let's add shelves. Let's say 10 shelves. Now let's take the top and also give this a slope in the width of 250. And now let's quit this and we create a new model, slope shelves, and let's put our model into place. And here we have our shelves that are neatly fitted into our sloping roof, our sloping wall. And of course you can go on editing your shelves and creating drawers and doors and whatever you want in your project by the sloping wall. So I hope that's been of interest to you to see how you can quickly set up a room with sloping walls. Sloping ceilings are more difficult. We can do this another way as well, and you can see this in my other videos. You can also export polyboard models into SketchUp projects, so you can model your environment in SketchUp and then import your polyboard models into SketchUp. We'll look at that more in depth in other videos. But anyway, this is how you do it in polyboard. Very quick, very easy to do. When you've got complicated walls, use cabinets. Hope that's been useful. Goodbye.